is the CodeO-cast, filling your day with stories,
But mostly memes, though, and chaos.
memes that you won't believe.
Not sponsored by Cheetos.
Hopefully we will be sponsored by the Cheetos. Here to entertain. It's the CodeO-cast.
This is fun.
Did you sync it? Did you do the thing?
I already did. I already clapped.
Wow.
We're not going another round around.
It's pretty gay, dude.
Start this garbage.
It's pretty gay, dude.
Garbage? I thought we were doing pretty well so far.
Our channel is trash. Let's just admit it.
You know, I thought the interesting was rendering some fruits.
What?
What?
Bearing fruit. There you go. That's the proper.
Bearing fruit? Like what? Wait, what?
I don't know.
Okay, do your freaking intro, guy.
We can never get through one of these without doing the intro super late. That's what I've noticed.
Well, this is your time to change it. You can get to do the intro.
Why?
that's
I did it last
that's
time.
what
That
we
is
got, that's
your-
what we got, we don't
I
cut
did
out
it
this
last
part.
time.
Yeah, well, they're editing it, so they'll see. Can somebody do the stupid intro? We got like 2 minutes into this recording.
That is true. Okay,
We
we're
just
pressed
wasted
for time.
2
We
minutes.
did just waste minutes.
God damn it.
We're just like
I don't even
46
know
minutes
what's
late.
going. I don't even know what's gonna happen today. Honestly, I didn't plan this shit.
I don't
Roll the intro.
I told you to make structure last week, and now there's no structure
There is none.
whatsoever.
We never have structure. Damn it.
Structure collapse.
This is why Cheetos will never. This is why Cheetos will never
So we really
sponsor
got
us.
nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let me take this over. Okay.
That's why you're here today.
That's
I thought
why
you were
you're
gonna
here
take this over.
Welcome to this podcast. Look at the garbage that we currently have. We're not prepared for anything. Welcome to the Dick Channel. My name is Jesus.
Wait, what?
This is Alfred. Yeah.
Mr. D sexy.
Introduce yourself, goddammit. You're the host of this garbage.
You first.
It's Omar.
God damn you. That's an awful intro.
No, it's not.
Just,
We're introducing our names.
it's like, hi, it's the no. You gotta be like, what's up, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna cut that out.
All right, cool. There's no structure in this, so I'm gonna ask random questions.
Name's Codes.
Give me a hard-hitting question, Jesus. Go.
Hard-hitting questions.
What's on the people's topic right now?
I don't know the people, but I know about myself.
All right.
Might as well go with that.
At
Jesus
this moment,
is the
because
people,
People
man.
aren't here. You are the people.
I am the people.
He is the
I am
people.
the legion, as people would call me. Okay, first of all, since there is no
Legion of
structure
G.
in this freaking podcast, might as well start with something. What do we want to do with this goddamn podcast and channel and all the things? What are our ultimate goals? All right, so to make this simpler, what's our short-term goals for now? You can start first. You can start. Whoever wants to go first can go first.
I feel like the only content we're gonna get out of this thing is like the freaking penguin dancing here for a little bit. That's it.
You're
I'm not gonna put it
You're
in
not
if
answering-
you
I'm
keep
gonna put
mentioning
it
You're
it.
not answering the question.
Ha.
The
You got
people want answers. I am the people. Answer the question. What is your short-term goal with this YouTube channel, and what do you expect out of it?
Short-term goal, not to mess up.
Okay, that's pretty.
We already messed up.
All right, next person.
Goal failed.
F this guy. Next guy. Next guy.
Failure.
Realistic short goal is like, I mean, I just want to build a small audience that at least consistently views us, because with this podcast, all I wanted to do was just like get a little glimpse into the lives of the people that you're gonna see behind the cameras, because most of the time I feel like when you see a YouTuber through the screen, obviously you're getting all the fun content, you're getting all the stuff that's going on in their lives, but you know, it's always nice to hear them talk, and it's always nice to hear them like mellow down and hear a little bit about their lives. So with this podcast specifically, it's to get to know us a little better.
What about the channel? What do you expect out of the channel too? Because that's also part of the question.
That is true.
Yeah.
And with Dig, I mean, we're always having fun playing video games, and I feel like someone else could get enjoyment out of that. So providing a little joy to the ones who need it. So that would be fun. Plus, you know, nothing wrong with getting a few views here or there. So short term, if I were to sum it up, is to provide some fun to others get them to know us a little better, and gain a little bit of consistent viewership in the next month or two.
Not very short term, but yeah, pretty good.
It's more like medium to long term.
Yeah, it's kind of medium to long. But how about you, Freddy? This time, keep it
Medium
short, not long.
I'm
Alright.
sorry.
You can answer in a long way, but
Jesus
you
doesn't
can't
like
be
it
short
long,
term.
okay?
No, because that's the second question.
Yeah, keep those long answers for the second question.
Keep that for the second. question.
Exactly.
As of now, short-term goals. What do you kind of like want to do out of all this?
Okay, at least in regards to this podcast, I didn't start the podcast specifically, so I honestly just want to get through it. If you want to talk about our days, you could talk about our days. If you want to talk about what's going on in the government, we could try. I don't think any of us really.
We're
keep
gonna
up with that.
storm the. No, I'm kidding.
But-
Viva la revolución.
If you want to talk about games that just came out or shows that we're watching, pop culture stuff. That's stuff people like to hear opinions. People like to get validated opinions from other people or hear the opposite side of what people don't typically hear. So it's like, you hear about both sides or whatever.
What? People have different opinions. What?
Well, that maybe. It's in the dark web, though. You gotta really search for that.
Yes, for sure.
I've been on the dark web before. I saw myself for sale for like $1,000.
All right, cool. It's my turn to answer the question. Stop it.
So
All right, this is you answered for the podcast. No answer for the YouTube channel. Did you answer YouTube channel?
You mean for Dig?
I wasn't paying attention to you.
You for Dig?
Yeah, for Dig.
Well, this is going on CodeO-cast.
Yeah. But that's also a separate thing that we do on the for ourselves.
We're
or
technically
whatever.
affiliated channels, so yeah.
Look, we go over this question a lot, though. I feel like I've answered this question like 3 times.
Have you answered it on the podcast?
I
though?
have.
Yeah, we actually have talked about
This
this.
is why we need structure.
This is why we thought you were gonna bring the
You know,
structure.
Yeah, this is what I'm currently doing.
It's like we're doing a meeting for the podcast.
It
not the
literally
podcast.
is.
I'm pulling this out of my butt. All right, this is what I want for this goddamn stupid channel. Both podcast and what is the other thing? Oh yeah, Dig. I forgot about it.
We
It
lost a
sucks.
ton of subscribers with this episode.
You
No,
know,
we're actually gaining them. I know the people because I know the people.
it's funny that you
I'm
mentioned
trying to ask
shows
you a
because I haven't watched consistently a show in a long time.
That's not the question that I asked.
Mr.
No.
Tokyo Ghoul.
By myself, I mean.
Ah,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, short-term goals. I just want to improve because currently I'm nervous as all hell. I'm trying to think of something and saying a lot, and then she's like, just communication skills can get a lot better, and also that's part of the podcast side of things. But something side of the YouTube channel, it's also improvement, but this time it's trying to find content and trying to make that a little bit better, and trying to make it that we understand what we're all doing, have a little bit of structure in all of the things, even in the podcast, and then also the YouTube channel of Dig, and find out what can we do to make money, because money is the root of all happiness, right? Yeah.
Wait,
that's,
what?
That's how the saying goes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
It's in First Opinions last time I
First
checked.
Nice. All right, this is the second question. Long-term goals. What do you think about that? What do you expect out of the podcast, and what do you expect out of the channel?
out of the podcast, I never
Go
really.
ahead.
This is gonna sound kind of bad, but I never really expected anything. To be honest, I just
Yeah,
did this
most
for fun, and basically, long term for the podcast is just keep making content, keep actually having fun with this podcast, and giving people some really good entertainment. And with the Dig channel, my long term goals is eventually we can build up to a point where we wouldn't have to work. That would just be our job as YouTubers for the Dig channel, just making gaming content, any other content we want to make, and just making money, doing what we love, and making sure you guys have some content that you would love. So
You know, I think when we started the CodeO-cast, it was merely just for a project. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure we've already told the story.
we
about it
have.
once or
I think it
twice.
was the last episode. No.
But it started just as a project, and then we found the amount of fun that we had in those past episodes, which have disappeared the face off the earth for a very good reason.
Yeah,
I
we
hear
got.
you.
I deleted those. Yeah.
But
Good reason.
when-
They're just bad. They're just
They were awful.
they were awful.
If you wanna
in
pay
terms-
money to see them. Hopefully, they still kept them.
No.
They're
No.
somewhere.
If you
But-
find them, that'd be extremely surprising.
The only remnants of the first ever podcast that we did is bloopers that are on my Dropbox. But even then, it's oof. You really have to like delve deep for that.
But yeah, when we first started this, like rebooting it, when we actually decided to actually start sticking to a podcast, this was back last year when we actually had the idea of Dig and started
Yeah.
barely filming. But since we wanted to start uploading something, that probably didn't take months to do since we didn't have the equipment to get it done.
Hmm.
We just thought a webcam and just talking in front of a background would be fun. And I honestly, like him, I didn't really expect much, which was super surprising considering that in 1 week, that first CodeO-cast rebooted episode went from 2 views to 100 in a week, which still surprises me. I don't know. I don't understand how that one happened.
Where are those 100 views now, man? Where are they at?
I don't know. I
mean,
really don't know.
It fluctuates from time to time.
It
Sometimes you
does.
just gotta give it time. It'll eventually go up to like
Yeah.
either 50 or
What if we
150.
just replace all of us with different people? I think that worked a lot better. Huh?
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
so
the
weird.
issue. I think that's the issue.
But like actually the funny thing about that first episode is that it's exactly like this one. We had no structure whatsoever. We're just improving the entire time. And for a
I
brief
guess
moment, we got
it also
yeah.
helped that we had so much to go off of because it was unintentionally educational for a reason.
Yeah.
Because we said one comment about school and that carried us the entire way through.
Yeah,
as
it
long
did.
as you have the topic, you talk about the topic. If you happen to go off of tangents, might as well go off those tangents. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's content.
It
Content
is.
entertaining, that's what we need here in this goddamn world.
It really is, honestly.
I don't know why I said world. I mean this podcast. Specifically this podcast.
See, there's a world within this podcast.
Yeah, if you want to learn about the lore,
The lore.
figure it out. We do the From Software type thing where we show a thing and you have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
What is this? The Marvel Cinematic Universe or some shit?
No, F that.
There's an Easter egg under the table on the background.
You see this black void? I don't know what about.
You gotta zoom in on my pores and then get the fine details.
You
Oh,
see
nobody
this
wants to see
tablecloth?
that.
You see this tablecloth right here? It's actually an Easter egg to Dig. We're a shared universe.
Exactly.
How about you, Freddy? What do you want for long term?
For the podcast and the channel.
And the channel. You answer that however you want. And if we happen to go off of that, let's go.
Well, let's see. Podcast is really like whatever. It feels like just a whatever thing. So we'll just do whatever on
It's
it.
like if you happen to join, well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo,
Yeah,
that's great, isn't it? Yeah, as far as like the dig stuff, I suppose it'd just be cool to just have like kind of like a community garnered around like the gaming and like and how we interact with like those sorts of stories with each other and stuff. Because I know that a lot of and I've shared this before on this podcast, but in the past, just like playing with like my cousins or whatever, typically I'd be the one that's like watching him play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just, at the time I was just like, whatever about it. Like
Just living your life as player 2 all the time, yeah.
kind of, yeah. Yeah, because I wasn't the one that had the games and stuff like that. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'll just whatever. But I did have fun just like watching how the game was going and stuff like that. Because then my cousin would do things that I would never be able to do. Or at least at the time I thought I could never do.
Yeah.
So kind of just going through with that, just kind of getting that feeling of joining someone on their way through going through some various video games. Especially games that like people like that the person playing is like, really enjoying and all that. Because there's people that kind of just slog through whatever crap's like popular, but they're not really into it. But they'll do it anyways.
It's just kinda like this podcast, and you just gotta go
Yeah,
through it.
exactly. Just kind of got to go through it. But yeah, at least with the games, I would hope that we play games that we ourselves enjoy, that we're not just doing for the sake of whatever is popular at that time, because that's just like anybody can do that. Like you can watch like a bajillion of people playing whatever is popular at that time, but if you're not the one that's really getting much out of it, then like who cares? Really.
Yeah.
So kind of just building that sort of thing. Hopefully, I mean, we have talked about expanding it elsewhere in different areas, so this is only really just the starting point. So I would imagine long term, let's say like 10 years, that we actually have like different categories of sorts of recordings, whether it's video game or just like live action stuff, the Dungeons and Dragon thingies, or even trying out skits or whatever.
Yeah, definitely doing a whole lot more.
Yeah. So kind of just starting off with what we can, and then just getting more into the later stuff when we've gotten more used to being on camera, used to just chatting, getting closer, with the whole like on talent sort of thing. And yeah, also just improving on video editing, honestly, since that would be a nifty skill. So hopefully I can at least take that somewhere. But yeah.
Going back to the 10 years from now, I just want to say, in 10 years, I hope we're at least getting paid for this.
Imagine we wait 10 years. Finally, our first paycheck of 2 cents.
Ad revenue.
Dude.
Yeah.
Thanks. And
We have 1 million subscribers, and people are giving us stuff, but we only got 1 cent out of it.
We gotta include 50 mid rolls in order to get the 2 cents per vid.
also, going back to the
Well,
whole
it's not 10
building,
years.
going back to the whole building a community thing, what would we call our fan base though? Once we do get like a fan
We'll
base,
get to that when we get to it.
I actually thought about that. Just let it naturally happen.
Yeah, it just
let
let
them do
them
it.
decide.
Let them decide.
And
That
if
is true.
decide on something kind of that's very degenerate,
We'll say no.
No, that's our fan base.
that's our legacy.
They're all degenerates, and oh boy.
Oh boy.
Legacy.
We're going to have to purge and start another one.
Oh no.
Delete everything off the channel.
Just start a whole new show.
Start a whole new channel. Dig 2.0.
There
my
are some
God.
creators who legitimately do that.
Uh,
I
That
don't
is
know
true.
the name of this particular creator, but
Yeah.
he's famous on going on social media, and I think he did this a lot on TikTok, where he
Uh-huh.
would go in, wait for his platform to blow up, and then as soon as he's done, deletes it once it blows up and starts a new one and waits for that one to blow up,
Yeah.
just to troll everyone and have them keep coming back for his content.
It's to troll the
Bruh.
whole community just so you can have a whole bunch of people follow you once again. Yeah. That was fun. Anyways, back to the original question, I guess. I asked that question. I don't know what I want. I couldn't come up with anything throughout this whole time. I was just waiting for time.
And it's cool just not know, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really like to admit they don't know.
yeah.
It's just by this point, all I noticed from the start is that we definitely do need some structure. Get
Yeah,
some
we do.
questions, get some topics, get something going on.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've tried getting
'cause
questions, but we
I
haven't
should've
been lucky
been
enough
more
yet.
thoughtful about it, because I mean,
We're not at the level of fans to where we would get comments on every video or questions on every video.
Yeah, yeah,
And even with the amount of promoting that I do for the channel, like the few times that we have tried to have questions, it hasn't really worked out that well, only
Yeah.
because the fan base thing.
The reason those questions because those two fans are on TikTok, but their fans are not on YouTube, so they have no idea what's going on. So they have very little exposure to all of that. So what you can do, just promote that we have this channel. Eventually people talk, and then there's more people will hear about it. So eventually when we do get to that point, we will be doing the whole Q&A type things where we get a good amount of questions. But as of now, nobody's listening to this, so great.
Honestly,
Yeah,
what I thought about doing also was like at the end of like let's say a video where we're afterwards, like the next video we're planning on like questions and stuff. Maybe 1 or 2 episodes before that, just ask for like questions and then gather them all up.
Or yeah, that's it. Or another thing we could do, it's like see if we start seeing that like people ask questions or something like that whenever they do their comments and stuff like that. Look at it, see like throughout like the videos people have been asking these type of questions and stuff like that. And eventually like a week or 2 before the video of like the Q&A, where you can put like a statement. I was like, if you have any questions, put it on this YouTube video. But we can also just go back to the other videos and see like any other questions. That way we have like a good amount of questions, just in case people decide to troll us and say, no questions.
yeah.
Also, another bit of feedback that I got from some of our viewers was that
Feedback from viewers also was great.
so some of the feedback that I got was they don't really ask us questions because in the videos themselves, before they could ask the question, we already answered the question.
Yeah.
So like we unintentionally get rid of our own questions
We gotta
by
stop
answering.
being descriptive about ourselves. We gotta talk about everything but ourselves.
As soon as we
Well, I mean-
as soon as we get on the podcast, just don't talk.
Yeah, we just gotta.
so many
Just like an
questions.
hour of silence.
Yeah. And it's because also like we kind of made this into a podcast about ourselves.
Yeah.
So of
exactly.
course we're going to be talking about ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're wanting to get questions about in regards to the background of things, then it shouldn't necessarily be about ourselves per se. If we
Like-
keep talking about ourselves.
That's true.
Like answer the question, why'd you come up with Dig? We were bored.
Yep.
That's it.
Honestly, we were bored, and one of our friends didn't want to like work at some job that they hated, so we just started it up, and we were all like, "All right, yeah, let's
That is
go."
Third job.
Who knows?
That was his third job, I think.
I think so.
Yeah,
That part of the silence reminds me of there's this musical piece
mhm.
that is extremely ironic because the whole point of it is the performance comes from the audience. It's called 457, and the whole gist of it is you get a whole group of musicians. You can have any instrumentation, anyone can play this piece. All you do is go up to the stage, get ready to play, and then you just sit there for 4 minutes and 57 seconds. The performance is whatever the audience does. Anyone who sneezes, laughs, starts coughing, anything that the audience is doing, they are the performers now.
It's the
Because
best-
you're just creating awkward silence for them to
Yeah.
feed off of.
Yeah, it's like the best time to commit a murder because that screams will really fill in the room.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, so what? I don't know what you just said. A person
So
goes up to a
somebody-
stage-
Let me explain
Somebody-
to you in a non-music major way. There's a sheet of music. There's nothing on it, and that's it.
And you just
And that's all
stand there
they
for
do.
4
Yeah.
minutes
So he
and
stands there
47
for 4
seconds.
minutes, 57 seconds, and the performance
Is
is
nothing.
whatever
Just the
people
audience
do.
itself.
Whatever
yeah.
the audience is doing, whatever they do in this span of time. Let's say I have my trumpet with me. I'm about to play this piece. I do this, and then everyone just sits back and relax.
Oh, he doesn't do that at all.
Because
I would
whatever
never
the
be able to do
audience
that.
does, whatever noise, whatever
Yeah,
they get up
see,
to do to go to the
so-
restroom, they are the performers now.
So the people that came in to pay to hear that performance, they actually came in there and pay to hear themselves.
Yeah, pretty
Exactly.
much.
Are they aware that that's what they're going for?
Probably.
If someone that is cultured and
God,
knows what the piece is, yes.
God,
But
Rich-
if someone walks in and sees,
So like 99% of the audience wouldn't know what the fuck is going on.
No, I think this would be a rich people type thing. So yeah, the good majority of them would know.
yeah. So I feel like it depends what audience you're going for, but
Yeah. If you-
obviously that's not the only piece you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to the hood or something, you're not gonna know. Unless there's
They'll
some
scream
really-
at you. It's like, hey, why aren't you playing?
And it's like, yeah, that's good. Keep on doing that.
Dude, I wouldn't be able to do that. I hate awkward silence, honestly. Even though we have a lot of it on this channel. But oof.
Just do an awkward silence right now.
No. Oh
Stare at
god.
them.
Yeah.
I hate you guys.
Oh man, that's all I had. Who else has something? God dang.
One of the thing I almost laughed when you said talk about the government earlier because all that made me think of was this one video I saw of this chick who tried to storm the Capitol, bitching about getting pepper sprayed.
Oh, the girl who
She
got
was like,
maced?
I made it in like 1 foot into the door and then they pepper sprayed me. No, they wouldn't let us in.
Well, she had his,
And then she's like, it's a revolution. Like, no.
Oh, that girl.
Is that chick. I'm like,
well, at least
you
she had it
expect
better
them
than
to
that
let you
woman.
in and trash the place? Especially a government building? Like, really?
Yeah, people
That's
are
fucking
dumb.
stupid.
Yeah, people are stupid. They like to do things that they wish they could, but clearly they cannot.
Yeah, like trying to make it big on YouTube.
Yeah,
Who
right. How is
the
that
hell
supposed to work?
thinks they're gonna make it big on YouTube?
Exactly.
Not even we think that, and we started this shit.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
You know, when you were talking about like long term, like being able to share like with the community shows like and gaming and all that,
Yeah.
I started that I mentioned this just a bit ago because I don't know, I wanted to go on not on a tangent, but I wanted to mention it.
Go
I
on a
hadn't
tangent. We need time.
Content.
watched a show in a while, a new show. I haven't done that in a long time, and I'm now starting to realize that. And I'm guessing,
You like to rewatch old stuff?
I
Or
guess
do you watch a lot of
recently
the same
I've been
things?
rewatching shows because of other people.
Uh-huh.
You know, because it's like, oh, they want to watch this.
Oh, they
I've
happen to
seen
be
it
watching
before,
it,
so
yeah.
I'm experiencing with them. I haven't seen a show that I've discovered in a while for myself. So
All right. So going off of that, since we have no topic or anything, let's talk about stuff we watched.
yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
that. Like, what has something
Let's
that
do
you guys
that.
watched
Let's-
lately?
So let's do that. Let's see how long this takes us. So what have you been watching? What's the recent show that somebody watched or you've been wanting to watch, Omar?
Honestly, now that I'm realizing, I want to
Yeah.
find a new show,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
something that So you know how YouTube will just throw stuff at you
Yeah.
naturally. It'll throw.
Okay, sometimes
And
it's
sometimes
like, it's
it'll-
like a
Yeah.
monkey in the cage throwing poop at you. Yeah, I know.
It's known as the algorithm.
Yeah. So
Minecraft.
there's times where the
algorithm.
algorithm will just throw stuff at you that you've
Yeah.
seen a long time ago. And recently, what it regurgitated at me was a show that I saw when I was a little kid. It's called Inazuma 11. What?
Wait, what?
Nice.
It's a show called Inazuma 11. It's a soccer anime. It's basically we mix the elements of BS DBZ powers with soccer and put them together.
Yeah.
It's
so-
basically JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dragon Ball Z, and soccer all in one.
Well, that's quite nice, isn't it?
And so it's just the show with like a simple plot to understand.
That's the one with the guy with the god hand. or
Yeah,
whatever?
that
Okay.
guy.
So, yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. You showed me this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
I hadn't. There's times where like I remember it exists,
Yeah.
and then there's like a year that I don't watch it, and then it comes back because the algorithm will regurgitate it because it's I can watch it on YouTube, and so it just every time I watch it, it brings me back to memories of me actually liking soccer for a while and thinking of actually doing that instead of band.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
stuck with band for reasons. But it was just really fun because as a kid, you want to imitate what you see in the show. So
Yeah, you know how that kid has big hands, so it's like I want big hand too.
where do I look for big hand?
And what else did they do in that show? Kick dragons in the face?
No.
Or a dragon comes out of their feet, right? I don't remember.
It's so the shot that
The way
Jesus
they
is
come
talking
up
about.
with these movies is you come up with an animal, a color, and something that's vaguely pertaining to it.
That's basically it.
Like dragon's tooth.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh.
he's just his
Water
foot like
just
that.
spills everywhere.
Kicking.
So there's the one that Jesus is talking about. It's called it's a shot called Dragon Impact. It's literally a dude who just shoots a ball and the whole background just turns blue and it has that you know
Yeah.
those white lines that go around anything to make it seem like it's moving.
It's basically the
Kinda.
splash effect.
The splash effect.
The motion effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to seem like this guy's just kicking this ball extremely hard, and so as
Yeah.
soon as he kicks it, the whole background turns blue, and this the ball just goes up in the air, and then he kicks it again to actually shoot it towards the goal, and the whole point it's called Dragon Impact because there's a blue, just a regular white blue dragon just going along the ball. It's not going around it. It's just like this is the ball. It's going like right here. And that's called the Dragon Impact. It either scores or it doesn't, depending how strong the goalie is.
Everything
quote,
deals
strong,
with
How
dragons.
BS
His
his
power
technique
level
is.
row is
versus
over
the
9.
kicker.
Wow.
Wow,
So-
everything deals with dragons now. Damn.
So
Oh no, I can't talk because my series has dragons. Shit.
Damn
Damn it.
So that's a series that I think I'm gonna get back into because I've forgotten a good amount of the plot, even though it's probably gonna come back to me as I watch it.
The plot is soccer, and we have to win. That is the
We
plot.
want to be
The very
champion.
best. What? Oh, not that one. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it is surprising because most of the series is all right. We need to be the best in this tournament, but the second arc is them dealing with aliens. So
Yeah.
that's always a fun arc. It's like tournament, aliens, tournament, and that's it. And then eventually they have a spin-off series where they deal with time, like going through time and doing stuff like that. So,
So
it's
it's-
pretty dumb.
So it's
but-
basically one big tournament arc.
Kind
It just sounds like
Damn.
something I'll never watch.
Yeah.
I did watch it with you, but I just didn't want to watch it anymore.
It's okay. I mean, it's not for everyone, but it was enough for me as a kid, and it's probably gonna be still enough for me due to nostalgia.
So just saying is yourself now is no different from you being a kid.
Yeah, so you're still a child.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe bump down the height a few pegs, but
Yeah.
they're basically the same.
My lord, it's a child.
Well, how about you, Freddy? Is there something you've been watching recently?
All right, throw it on me. Why don't you?
If anything, you got the most content lined up.
Watching all the animes and stuff like
Shut up.
that.
Recording here.
So what are you watching? What you said?
What?
What did you say you were watching?
I didn't say anything.
All right, fine.
So what are you watching
Guess
right
you
now?
don't wanna talk to
Actually,
me.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like I like to watch shows with different people, different things. Wanted to continue watching Steven Universe with Matt, but he's rarely ever has any time.
Yeah, he just sucks.
Yeah.
But you don't know who he is, but he sucks. That's
Yeah,
all you gotta know.
definitely. Yeah, but so watching shows with Carlos right now, one of the ones that we were watching was We Never Learn. That one is just like it's kind of like a slice of life, will they, won't they sort of deal. I suppose it could be classified as a harem anime. but not all the girls are really pining for the main character. I don't think. Well, I guess it depends. Yeah, I think it would be considered harem. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so they all want that. They want it.
Kinda.
They want a piece of that man.
Well, some
Okay,
of them are like
is
not
the-
sure if they want it. Other ones are like kinda.
Is the guy dense as hell?
Yes.
Then it is a harem
There you go.
anime.
It's an anime, and they want a piece of that meat.
Yeah. He.
Oh.
Yeah. And
That
of course,
schmeat.
anime they just get into whatever situation. It's always weird to classify them like that because that's just kind of how anime is. Like
Oh.
really.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of anime
yeah.
do have their harem aspects to them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the hard way to classify some is because you have your extremes and your on either side.
But this is anime. It's all extreme.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when you categorize
Like
something.
soccer, hand god, and Dracula.
Yeah, but that's one extreme where it's like a bunch of super
Ridiculousness.
weird, a bunch of ridiculous techniques that have visuals and all that. On the
Yeah.
other hand, you
Yeah.
have those animes where it's actual realistic soccer.
Well, I guess like what's that one anime, the volleyball one? Haiku, right?
Haiku.
That's
Haiku,
the
yeah.
volleyball. They don't have any like magical things going
No,
on.
no.
It's just like super good shots. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
just
stuff.
actual like as far as I know,
It's just-
they
yeah.
try to seem realistic.
Just a bunch of motion effects and just the action shots constantly. Yeah?
Slow mo. I guess some of it might be slightly unrealistic.
It's all still a sports anime, except I'm guessing the soccer one, whatever that one's called, I already forgot.
Inazuma 11.
Shut up. Whatever that's called. I guess it goes from sports and supernatural because that's pretty supernatural.
Yeah, it's pretty supernatural.
And then if you go like haiku, that's just sports, and I'm guessing there's a story besides the sports, a drama. So there's there's like different categories, I guess.
See, the thing with that is like, it's supernatural, but sometimes I really feel like this is all just in the kids' heads
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
like, there's a specific moment in an episode where there's a goalie, right? He's stopping a shot,
Uh-huh.
and the technique is there's this JoJo kind of thing, the stand that just pops out of his back, and and the stand is supposed to be the one stopping the shot, right?
Uh-huh.
But then they do this side angle where you could see this view, and so you see the stand over him and the kid, but the soccer ball goes directly to the kid's hand. It doesn't go to the stand's hand. So it's scenes like that make you think this is all just in the kid's head.
What if that's just his dead dad supporting him?
Oh, there's dead grandpas in the series.
Yeah. The protag's grandpa is dead, not his
it's-
father.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's
His
like
father is just a deadbeat who
it's
abandoned
like
him,
if you
probably.
go back to Goku, and then Goku beats up his son, and then gives Cell a sensu beam, and it's like, all right, I'm out, and then he just supports him from the back.
Oh, yeah.
Goku's like a dad. Piccolo's a great.
He's a happy dad, not a good one.
Piccolo is Gohan's father. Changed my mind.
100%. 100%. Oh man. That's
Sorry.
about other anime. What you been watching? You been watching anything? It doesn't have to be anime.
I would prefer if it was.
That's all I know.
There's
like
totally
that,
not a
two-
knife under the table if you mention anything under than
Or
anime.
it's like that one reference, like you'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Be like cooler if you did. The
You have an addiction.
I've been rewatching Fairy Tail, which is my favorite anime, even though a lot of people hate it.
I'll say this right now. It's all right.
What is bad about it?
It's not bad.
A lot of
It's
people
all right.
say it's a lot of fan service, when in reality, I try to ignore that because the
Wait,
story is.
you gotta try to
Wait,
ignore
so
it.
so it is there? There's a story.
If you have to, if you try to ignore it, that means there is a lot of fan service. So yes, there is a lot of fan service.
Well, well, it's not more fan service than I've seen in any other anime.
Well,
That's the thing.
definitely there is a story.
There is a story. It's actually a really good story.
I don't think the reason that people don't like it is that it's fan service. I think. It's
No, I've
just a
seen
lot
that.
of the same.
I've seen that argument a lot, actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
it's
like,
not like anime.
I guess it's
like that the quote unquote excess fan service takes a lot away from the story when really it doesn't.
Yes. I don't know, man.
How can you watch the anime and there not be fan service? That's
Exactly,
kinda
it's
just
anime.
A part of anime.
Exactly.
There's
It's
no
like a
fan
tr-
service.
It's pretty much
It's
a trope
basically
at
not
this
anime.
point.
Watch
Yeah.
cartoons if you want.
I want to see my curves and my muscles. Right?
I'm not in about fan service.
Right?
You decided to hang out with your gay friend Matt.
Having fun, huh? Whatever you.
It's not fun unless there's fan service.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, but I think Fairy Tail's
That's what our OnlyFans is for. What?
What? No.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Actually, well, I mean, I suppose to kind of give an idea of the argument against Fairy Tail, because I was into it up until an extent. Because I was like, I was digging it. I was watching whatever. It was like, yeah, cool, friendship, young. and that whole thing. It's just that it kind of felt the same thing every time.
It was
Like
basically
it
something
felt
like
like they could have stopped at one point and been like, and the rest you can just imagine or read in the manga, do whatever.
Yeah, get
But
on
it just
manga.
always ended up being that Fairy Tail's in trouble or something. There's this
Natsu is
antagonist thing. Natsu's not there for some reason, and when he's there,
down.
it's like, oh, he's
shows
fighting
him
as hard
all.
as he can, but then he gets beat. But he wants to win so much, and then he wins. I felt like it was that same cycle over and over again. So that kind of is what got me out of it. I was up to it. I passed the first season, the second season also.
Yeah.
But then like beyond that, like it started getting ridiculous with like that dude that looks the same as his other dude, and it's like, oh, I thought you were dead, but you're not, and all
Oh yeah,
that.
freaking what's his name? Jail? What's
Oh
yeah.
That
Yeah.
that arc.
that dude?
I got
That
to
was
the point-
weird.
Yeah,
That was
I got.
weird. I will
he
admit
dies,
that.
and then he comes back, and then he dies again, and he comes back.
No,
But
my
he's not
least
the same person.
my least
He's like-
favorite arc is basically like the I don't know if you got that far, but it's like this where the Zodiacs turned bad. That was my least
Yeah,
favorite.
I didn't get to that point.
I did not.
I
Well-
think I got like.
Well, spoilers now, I
I
guess.
think if you're gonna
It's
watch
okay.
Fairy Tail, just
I'm
get
not
to-
gonna watch it.
Just get to the point wherever they do the electric dragon guy, whatever his name is.
Oh
like,
yeah, that guy.
the grandson to the
Loxus.
yeah, whatever. his name is.
Roxas.
Yeah.
He's
I was
voiced
say-
by Michael Jones,
I,
by the way.
I think no, I don't know that.
He's from Achievement Hunter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Get to that point.
Yeah. But like
Get to that
from
point,
the
That was cool.
and that's it.
we had
And then
that
from there it just becomes the same.
that whole bad Zodiac arc was honestly like
Bad.
bad, and then right afterwards they just had like a shit ton of filler. I'm like, why?
'Cause
Why
they
would
gotta
you?
fill up the time?
But then once it gets to like the final arcs, like the final season, I will say that was really good.
yeah.
The final
Okay.
season was
So
amazing.
I'm guessing you just cut off a whole bunch of chunks. And then you
No,
can
whenever
watch
I
Watch season
rewatch
one,
it-
season 2, skip everything else.
Yeah.
Watch season second to
last.
last to the last.
Literally, whenever I rewatch it, with
How
that
many
whole
times have you rewatched it?
what, like about 3 times.
God
already.
damn,
Oh my
what's wrong-
god!
What's wrong
Like-
with you?
Isn't that anime like super long?
Yeah, it's like over
It is
100
super long.
episodes.
But
What,
it-
like
but-
200 episodes
but here's the
or
thing,
something?
like-
Or something?
Like I'm about to say, whenever I get to like the Zodiac arc and the fillers and stuff, I just skip that. I'm like,
Okay, so
because
you're not-
they're irrelevant to the story pretty much,
Okay.
or like, and even then, if they are, or at least the Zodiac one is kind of relevant, but still, it's not enough for me to rewatch.
So you're
honestly.
watching
It's just
Fairy-
cringy.
you do Fairy Tale Kai.
I will.
We just
fucking
cut
There's
out-
murder you.
277 episodes.
Dang.
You watched it 3 times. What the hell is wrong with you?
You did it. You can do that, but you haven't started Naruto.
F Naruto.
Shut up.
Naruto
Shut up.
Sucks. All my homies hate Naruto.
I like
Oh yeah, what about
Nobody
One
cares.
Piece, Omar?
I'm not starting One Piece.
Exactly.
God, One Piece hasn't finished yet. It's
Yeah.
only- it's
Exactly.
only
No,
1,000
yeah, you can't
episodes.
put it in that because it's not done yet.
It's still
Naruto's
way
done.
longer than Naruto.
That's what I'm saying. Naruto's done.
I don't even know what the heck
But it's
the
still
piece
way
is.
longer.
Is there really one of them?
And they don't know what the piece is.
If it's
either.
one piece, then why is it one piece? Wouldn't it just be a whole?
What even is the arc in One Piece right now?
I don't know.
They're fighting
don't watch it.
pirates.
That's every arc. You dropped
Ding.
your ring, you idiot.
God, I don't watch
Ah,
One
suck
Piece.
it,
That's way
loser.
too much. Jeez.
If I was watching or listening and Jesus just said that, I would have subscribed.
Well, why haven't
If you say that a little louder so you can hear that in the mic so people can subscribe.
I know, right?
Hot
Yeah.
singles in your area.
Click the link down below.
Link down below.
I am subscribing right away. Yeah, but
No.
God, all those
And-
long animes is way too much.
Yeah, and-
Especially one what is it? Fairy Tale.
Mhm.
3 times. Jesus Christ.
I have no life, but other than that, another show I'm watching
Alright, good.
is called Angels of Death, which is on Hulu.
That sounds maybe a little familiar.
It's about this. Well, I haven't really gotten as far into it. I'm like at the 2nd episode, I think. So I still don't really know what's going on.
Is that one based off of like a fan game or something like that? Or-
I'm not sure.
Angel
But I know that
Crash.
there's this guy who's like all in bandages and a red sweater with a
And
scythe.
is there like a little girl that runs
No, a
around
little
the
blonde
place?
chick, yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
the one. I think that one was well, I don't know if it's a fan game, but it's a game that's made with the what's that, RPG Maker or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
okay.
I think it's made with the RPG Maker, and they just based it off of that, I think, or
Ah.
vice versa. I can't remember, and I'm not gonna fact check.
Oh, this one. I've been wanting to watch this.
it is.
too.
It is that one. The one I'm
Yeah.
thinking
What's
I
it? What is it about the?
of. Go ahead.
Well, I don't. Like I said, I don't really know what it's about. I'm
So,
only 2
I
episodes
know
in.
you
haven't
I'm only
watched it.
2 episodes in.
oh,
There's
okay.
not really a lot that I can go off of.
Based off of the title, I could say
Literally, it's
that
just
there's
this-
Death and
and
Angels.
I only know is that this
Nice.
one chick gets sent into like this like whole dungeon area, and then there's like different floors she has to
Whoa.
go through.
Like,
And on the first floor, there's this dude with a
Yeah.
scythe that like tries to kill her, and she makes it out
Yeah.
alive.
yeah, like, I guess like most RPG Maker
And there's
games,
psychotic doctor.
it's all the
dude.
same thing. She's going to a spooky house, try to get out. That's so
Exactly.
I'm guessing that's what the anime is.
Pretty much. Like I'm at the point where she's with the psychotic doctor, and then the scythe dude kills the psychotic doctor for some reason.
yeah, you're killing. You just
Oh,
spoiled her to death.
no.
For no
I
reason.
was so attached to that doctor.
For no reason, the dude who tried to
That
kill
doctor
this
was
chick
my
saves this chick from
husbando.
dying. And I don't
Because
know
he
why.
wants to have the kill himself. Never seen psychotic killers before.
That's a good
I
point.
wasn't paying attention either.
He was saying that this one.
So the dude with the scythe
Yeah.
kills the psycho doctor who's trying to kill the girl that the dude with the scythe tried to kill earlier.
Okay, there's a lot of people killing.
So
Speaking
psycho doctor
of killing,
tries
have
to
you ever watched Kill la Kill? Who's watched Kill la Kill?
Oh,
Kill
yeah,
la
I've
Kill?
seen that.
Hell yeah, high five.
I've seen that.
All right, next to the next topic.
You want to talk
Yeah.
fan service?
Hell yeah, that is
It's a
fan
whole lot of
service.
fan service, but at least it's a good story.
I watch
and
it for the
doesn't
plot.
Drag everything down. All right, it knows what it's gonna tell. Does it in one season.
All right, now going on
Right.
to that topic, we'll just talk about Studio Trigger. God, that's a good one that also made by Studio Trigger. I think I can't remember. Gurren Lagann. That's
I felt like you're.
I haven't
was.
seen that one yet. I want to see that one.
You
but I
gotta
haven't
watch
seen
that.
it
I
yet.
haven't seen it
You
either.
gotta watch that. If you don't watch it, then you're stupid. And
Oh.
I'm also looking at everybody that just said that. At least they didn't like it. F that guy. But,
Why?
pretty
Because
good.
he's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
I hate that word specifically.
Nice.
Carlos. That is the word I'm hating.
And the word of the day is
That's why.
My parents.
That's
Oh,
why he's
well.
not on the podcast because they couldn't have them both on the
Yeah.
podcast.
They
They would
abandoned
kill
him
each
in the
other or
street.
something.
we
I
need
was
more
thinking that-
microphones in order to have them in.
Yeah.
Don't need to. No, I'm kidding. We don't have shit yet.
That's basically all you've been watching. Just Fairy Tale and Death.
Angel of Death.
Angel of
Angel of-
Death.
Yeah. I've also been watching. It's not an anime, but it's an actual
Oh, yeah,
like
something
live action
different.
show called Vikings.
Oh, Vikings. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, Vikings.
It's
I wanna go
freaking
to Norway.
awesome, dude. There's a bunch of killing, blood, gore. That storyline is great, actually. It follows like this one protag called Ragnar throughout his adventures in his life.
Ragnar.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, there once was a.
God damn it! No, but
I
it's
know how the
actually
story ends.
it's actually- like legit. It's actually based on real events from back then. Because there was actually a Viking named Ragnar who conquered many different
Yeah,
villages and
Vikings
became a
exist.
king. Yeah. And then like every single character introduced in this series existed in real life. Like their actual names, their histories, their backstories, everything.
So
It's like rewatching historical events.
So it's as historical as possible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the history is it on the History Channel or what is it on?
It's on Hulu. I think it was on Netflix for a
Yeah.
little bit. It's on Amazon Prime too.
If I remember right. I think
And
that
it's a
might have
hist-
been on the History Channel.
It's a History Channel thing too. Yeah.
These days you can't rely on anything like
History Channel.
Exactly.
no just like if you find something cool on Netflix you can't rely on it being there forever because they
Yeah.
take down
Yeah.
something every week.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
That was their
Uh,
hunt.
History Channel at night. Hitler
don't know.
fights off aliens. Let's go.
One day they'll have a license for a Spider-Man movie. Next day, oh, we don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
it's only
well,
viewable in England.
yeah, well, Netflix, what they're doing now is just the whole
That's why you get a VPN.
making their own thing. So,
Like, I mean,
but yeah, well, it's working out for them because apparently a lot of people like what they're producing. I don't like it.
Oh.
so, all right. But,
Honestly, Netflix content's been like shit lately. That's why I don't really watch it. I just go to Hulu
But
now.
the anime's on Netflix though, so they've been really
Kengan
good.
Ashura on Netflix. That one is really
Is
good.
that the gambling one?
No, that's
which one's
the fighting one.
isn't that an oldie?
No. I don't think so.
No,
it's
never
more
mind.
modern.
It
I
was-
was
It's
thinking
more
of another
modern.
one.
Wait, say it
No,
again?
Kengan Ashura.
Kengan Ashura.
Oh, okay.
No, what are we talking about?
It's a fighting one. It
It's a
was
fighting one.
I showed him like a clip of it, and it was like one of the most brutal deaths in that anime.
It's basically
It's
like
awesome.
every other shonen. It's just a tournament arc.
Yeah, that's all there is. It's just one big tournament arc with like the most goriest fights possible.
I haven't seen. I think it's no. I think it's which one is the one I saw? I think I did see that one all the way to episode. How many episodes? There's like 12 or 13.
It's
Because I saw all of the episodes except for the last episode,
it's
and I
12
watched
in
that
the
all in
first.
one day.
It's either 10 or 12 in the first season, and they have a second season right now.
Okay.
The second season was brought on in
I
like
didn't realize there was a second season.
2018, 2019 roughly.
Uh-huh.
I watched it twice only because it's like really really short. and I'm just waiting for our third season, which is supposedly gonna come out later this year or next year.
Oh, with all the stuff that's been going on in the world, hopefully it does come out.
Yeah,
We need to finish
It was sup-
Parasite.
I know you're gonna finish.
it was supposed to come out last year, but because of the COVID thing, it's got pushed back to this year.
Yeah. Pretty good. Anyways, another really good anime on Netflix. 'Cause we're talking about Netflix anime, The Great Pretender. Have you
The
seen
what?
that? The Great Pretender.
The great.
I haven't
that
seen
is.
that one.
Pretender. I have no idea.
I have
Yeah.
not seen that one.
It's basically just a scam artist scamming people. It's really good. Like the first season was like 3 different jobs, so it was like I guess 3 different arcs or whatever. And then they recently released the second season. That was one giant arc, or I guess it's like the whole season revolved around one job. Really good. If you ever got the time to watch that, you should definitely watch it.
I gave this anime called Ajin a try.
Oh hell yeah! that was
It's
good.
I didn't finish
I
that
got
one.
like to the first episode and I didn't really get back to it.
Give it a chance. Trust me, there's quite a bit of talking. The 3D animation is kind of it's 3D animation, so you can't do much about that.
Either hit or miss with you.
Yeah, it's either hit or miss. You hate 3D or you love it. Which
At
is
least
good.
it's not as bad as that one anime on Crunchyroll. I forgot what it's called. But there's an anime on Crunchyroll that's like brand new.
Uh-huh.
And the CGI 3D animation shit is just awful in there. It looks like something off of MMD
Is it
or
like
worse.
is it like a medieval type?
No,
thing, or-
I think it's like more
Tell me about-
modern day futuristic
Right.
with like advances in technology and stuff.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like this pink haired protagonist chick.
They all wear white.
I mean, if it's the future, of course they're gonna wear white.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
like maybe like I think so. If
Because
not, like it's both
Because
white
if
and
you're
black.
talking about that one, I think that's the one that a lot of people praise for having 3D animation and being really good. If that's the one I'm thinking about, because I don't remember it either. Or something.
I'm gonna look this up.
All right, you look it up.
Alright, look it up. Omar, you talk about something. You haven't said something in the past 10 minutes.
Heard.
Steven Universe is pretty
It's
good.
'cause she's green.
Alright, Omar, say something.
I'm slightly furious.
He's slightly furious.
Slightly.
That's pretty good. I like that one. Slightly Furious. Have you ever seen that?
No,
I'm
I
just kidding. It's not a real thing.
I was
Say
about to
something
say,
that's
what?
real. Say something.
Jesus. Says he's slightly furious. Now you're just trying to push him. Huh? Jeez.
Let's talk about Tokyo.
Also, just in case it got cut, if you haven't watched it, watch Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl
Oh
Senpai.
yeah, that sounds good. You even watched the movie.
You watched it? You
Have you-
watched it? Cody, have you watched it?
Not yet. I've been planning on
You
it.
better
though.
watch it. I
better
swear to
watch
God,
it,
if you don't
yeah.
watch it, this is
And if
like
you
you're
want to
over
pay
it.
$40 for a Blu-ray,
Have you
movie,
seen
definitely
it?
Do that.
obviously not.
All right,
God,
you
you're-
both you guys, that's your next date.
You're the big.
What?
You're gonna watch it. No, but it's really good anime.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good.
It's got like 5 arcs and like 12 and 13 episodes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each arc is
It's
like
like
roughly like
3
3
to
to 2 episodes.
2 to 3 episodes, yeah.
No, it's pretty good. Anyways,
X Arm. It's called X Arm.
Let me see it. Let me look at a picture of it.
Let me look at a
Guys,
picture.
This is the whole.
In case you guys
point.
don't know,
I can't remember
XR.
names. I'm what most people call an idiot.
Most people would call you that. That's correct.
Yeah.
I thought you just had it.
I just had it, but then I left.
Okay, just show me something. Show
He
me.
closed the window as soon as he said
Yeah,
the name,
Jesus.
like a
Sorry.
newbie.
You don't have to
Shut it.
God, dang it, this thing is too long. All right, when we talk about something.
Look how bad this animation is.
Okay, yeah, no, it's not the one I was talking about. Hell no.
Can I see real
and they're
quick?
definitely not
It
wearing
looks like a
white.
really like what you'd find in the 3D mobile
Yeah, it
game.
looks bad.
Yeah, that looks like a 3D mobile game. It's pretty bad. Anyways, Omar doesn't want to talk, so let's talk about his
No.
favorite
Okay,
anime.
I was about to. No, because then you guys just tear into it.
Well, we'll turn the 3rd season for sure, not the 1st and 2nd season.
Well,
If you
I
don't
have,
know
I
it-
have Black Clover to blame for
I
that.
hadn't really watched it, so it's.
Haven't watched Black Clover either, honestly.
Black Clover is Naruto with knives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big knives.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Also, any
Okay.
anime we talk about, we'll put a picture on here so you can know which one.
Yeah, you don't have to tell him that.
But
I need to remind him because he's editing this.
I don't. I already know.
Talk,
what-
Omar.
Never mind. Okay, just before I move on to something else, I guess if I have to say something about Tokyo Ghoul, it's I liked it. There's some bits and pieces that they left out of the anime that would have made it a more coherent story.
Oh no,
Doesn't matter what season it is, and all of them, there's some bits and pieces that they needed to include
Route
that
A,
I
the
feel
worst.
like. Shut up, let me talk.
Just make it slightly more cohesive.
You make me more irritated. But there's bits and pieces in every single part of the anime that are
I'm getting distracted. Just pay attention to me. I am the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your goddamn life.
You're lying to me.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh shit!
That's the only way to get you to talk.
But there's a part in every single episode that I feel like is unnecessary. And now that I'm starting to read it, I'm realizing that even some of my favorite moments in it could have been way better had they included just one more second of line, or just one little line that would have explained just this one moment that they left unanswered. Just one more second that they could have taken off a montage or an emotional scene just to explain this one little thing that left a plot hole in the future scenes.
Where's that one scene that probably could have been much better? It's towards the end. I can't remember if it's the first or second season, and it has to do with the best friend and
the best friend, Kaneki carry the best friend.
Yeah, that one. He carries a friend, and apparently there's supposed to be like a fight scene or something.
Let's
like
go
that.
home,
So, in the manga, spoilers for anyone who hasn't read this.
Screw everybody who hasn't seen it.
Skip to here.
So in the anime, the final scene of the second season, Kaneki's carrying his harmed friend who is working for the ghoul agency that's in charge of getting rid of ghouls out of Japan.
Yeah.
He's just carrying him towards the agency and just bringing him down to the floor. And the season ends. Shut up! The season.
Few moments later.
Okay, continue.
I'm sorry, by the way.
Start from your Tokyo Ghoul rant. Okay, sweetheart. Start from the point where I said, isn't there a guy that died or something like that, right?
God damn it!
Or something like that. Go ahead. Keep on talking.
All right.
God damn it.
Yeah,
So-
we hate you too. Go ahead.
In the anime, Kaneki's carrying his best friend to the CCG, which is the ghoul agency that is in charge of terminating the ghoul population
What
in
does
all of Japan.
CCG stand for?
Fake fan.
Containment and it's containment ghouls, but I forget what the first C stands for.
CPS.
Control, contain, ghouls.
I called them, they never came.
Okay, go ahead and your stupid Tokyo Ghoul.
I was legitimately curious, but if you don't know, it's fine.
No, I totally forgot. They don't really say it
Okay.
like in the first panels, and
Yeah.
they never say it again.
Yeah, they just
They just abbreviate it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but he just carries him to the snow, drops him in front of the officers, and then their head honcho is just staring at Kaneki for like 2 seconds. They just look at each other, and then you hear a click of him releasing his weapon, and that's it.
Yeah, in the anime, right?
Yeah, in the anime.
Yeah.
In the manga, though, there's none of that. There's no him carrying his best friend to his enemies, because there's no real clear bad guy and good guy in this anime.
Well, at that point.
Yeah, at that point, there's no real clear good guy or bad guy. In the manga, they meet in the sewers because Kaneki gets badly hurt due to a battle. He runs to the sewers. He sees his best friend there. They have a little talk. Then he blacks out, wakes up. His best friend's gone, and he's just wandering through the sewers. Runs into the head honcho in the sewers. Then they have the big fight. And so, spoilers. Head honcho beats up Kaneki like severely.
Like most people do, they just beat him up.
Beats him up severely to the point where at the final panel of the end of the second season, whether it's the anime, no, it's in the manga, on the final panel of the second season, you just see this guy who looks exactly like Kaneki, a little bit different hair, and he introduces themselves as a different character, and that's where it ends.
And it's just like different from most animes where the main character just gets his butt kicked constantly. Yeah, what is he, pathetic?
Pathetic, what loser.
Kaneki, where are you going? I'm joining Aogiri. Really? You're gonna join the people who torture you?
Kind of also
He's into
a
that.
thing in regards to anime as well. Something also to take note of as well is that like a lot of anime, it's really depending, but generally the point of anime is to promote the manga. So I'd imagine that's probably one of the things why there's like differences in like why they don't exactly explain things thoroughly or they leave stuff out. It's because they want people to read the manga more because they make more money off the manga than they do.
Yeah, they
I
do.
don't think it's so
Honestly.
much about that. Well, I think it is part of that.
No, it's
Yeah.
half the time. That's the promotion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's why animes are so far behind from manga. Manga keeps going.
Yeah, because
they want to sell.
There has been some anime that ended before the manga has even ended, which is kind of weird. But
they're working
I
fast.
think the bigger part about that is budget. Because if you do animation stuff like that,
Oh,
try
yeah.
doing animation. Have you tried doing animation?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
It's a pain in the butt.
I'm
I
going
did
into
a
it
stick
actually.
figure animation one time.
Dude, after I
How
graduate, that's
far
my
did
next
that
major.
go?
It was like
Animation.
10 seconds, and he kicked the guy, and he shot him.
Dude,
Yeah, animation's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
it
Imagine
is.
that- and also like with Japanese work culture, where it's like, oh, you didn't come to work today, shoot you in the head. So they really force them to work, and also get underpaid for overwork. But yeah, I think a big part about it is like just budget, and then they have to make cuts on some places and saying, oh, we're not doing that because that'll be too expensive, and also we have a limited amount of time when we have to fight that with the network or whatever. So I think maybe it is promotion, but I'd imagine more. I think that's just dependent on which
Anime.
not necessarily anime, but which company is in charge of that anime in particular.
Yeah.
Because definitely like there's some like they really put in all the creative juices into this one scene. This is where the money definitely went. But
Yeah.
I think budget plays a bigger role than that.
Honestly,
Unless you read that somewhere and then I'm completely I forgot the word, stupid.
honestly, I kind of agree with what Freddy said that it's all like promotion for the manga because a prime example of this is My Hero Academia. Like after the latest season ended, I know, right? After the latest season ended, the sales for the chapters that take place after the latest season just skyrocketed. Especially the newest issue that came out, sales were through the roof for that.
Yeah.
So that's like a really good example of like anime advertising for the manga in a way.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, because it's much faster for them to do the manga, of course, than the anime. So the anime, they'll go up to a certain point, and then
Yeah, it's
like
only
if you want to know what
cheaper.
happens after, that's where you start reading. Or if you want to see like how it is different in the manga compared to the anime.
Yeah, manga is
Yeah, that-
cheaper and faster, and then you have a lot more creative freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah, when it
Yeah. Like you have a lot of creative freedom in animation, but then there's still the budget limitation. But in the manga, you just have paper, ink, and that's all you really need. But you can have a lot more, but it's basically all you really need.
Yeah, that's actually why I've been thinking about getting the manga for Fairy Tail because I think the manga would be better than the series itself. Because
Hopefully.
what's up?
God, please.
no, because like here's the thing. I know for a fact that some studios kind of changed some things. I mean, a prime example is Tokyo Ghoul Route A when they went for an anime original ending and that shit instead of sticking to the manga
Yeah.
and everything. And like, I just feel like if you're gonna like really enjoy a series, also read the manga too. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, it comes with the animation. It comes down to the director calling the shots on what's in and what's not. Not necessarily who feels like the fans will get most out of more. It's what's gonna drive it home.
all of that
Exactly.
fun and
Because they leave a
games.
lot out of the anime too.
And it's
There's a
all-
lot more in the manga than there is in the anime. With everything. Because it's just like how like with Harry Potter and stuff, how there's a book to a movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes they leave bits and pieces out, sometimes they change a few things. With any book
Well, they
to live
have
action.
because you're adapting one thing from another. medium.
Exactly.
So that's always gonna happen.
Yeah, things are
Eh,
digested in
yeah.
a different
And people say,
time.
yeah, and people saying,
Exactly.
"Oh, the book was better." Well, first of all, it's a different medium, so you can't really compare the same of the two. You like there's things you like from one thing, there's things you like from another thing. Let's take an example. Scott Pilgrim. You know anything about that?
Oh, dude, I know crap.
Yeah, Scott
Dog.
Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women.
Oh
They knew
no!
better.
Oh.
I wouldn't look at women before Scott Pilgrim.
So before Scott Pilgrim, Freddy was gay.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's how it started.
So that's again. That's why he discovered himself.
Yeah, with the movie,
Oh,
you know,
no.
spanning the books, like at the time that they decided to start making the movie, they only had the first book out. So the book and the movie were coming out at the same time, and they had just released, I think, the last book or the second to last book a month before the movie finally released.
Yeah.
So that was like things have already been wrapped
Yeah, like-
up and all that. They were just getting things shipped out, whatever promotion.
You know, like, according to the like what people write about it and like stuff like that, whenever they're doing the ending for the movie, like which girl he ends up with, they didn't have that with the book, right?
They did not yet.
Yeah.
No. They had several different screenings. I saw like the movie with the director's commentary and stuff like that. They mentioned how in regards to the ending, they had the screenings of where Scott ends up with knives at the end and Ramona leaves, was ones where he ends up with Ramona and stuff. They said that when Scott ended up with knives, it was like a 50-50 whether the audience liked it or hated it. But with Ramona, they liked it a lot more. There was like just a higher percentage of people that actually enjoyed that ending compared to Knives.
They like toxic women, huh?
I guess. But yeah, because I don't know the reasoning behind that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, they were still.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, they're still figuring out. There's even a scene cutting out showing how like typically the part where Scott's died, but he's like in this kind of in between spot because he's got like a second life to hold on to. And then like Ramona actually convinces Scott that he actually should be fighting for Knives and stuff like that. And that's where it would kick off the ending where he ends up with Knives. And also the beginning of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because it's going through like 6 books. The beginning part, up until they're in the bus scene when Ramona and Scott kiss, that's the end of the first book. A lot of the first book is in the movie, but the remainder, like, it's a lot of give and take. Some things happened, some things didn't. They didn't even go over the fact that Scott gets a different job at some point. He leaves to a different area. He's worked already like different stuffs. He fought for Knives' dad, or at least tried to survive being killed by him. There was the whole subplot of his childhood friend coming back and that Ramona was getting jealous. There was a Halloween party where they fought robots before they even got to fight Cody and Aggie twins and stuff like that.
Is that what we're gonna get to in the game?
I think the game is gonna go through the battles. I think a little more closely to the comics, but the endings are hilarious. None of them are the canon ending.
Okay.
What Brian Lee O'Malley wanted to do for the game, or at least what he was hoping for it, was that the endings would be different depending on which character was the one that got their ending. So there's an ending for Ramona is the one the way that it ends. I think in the comics or the comics and the book where they like end up like that. But then the ending for Scott, it's funny because his is different. He ends up with a harem. And then the ending for there's even an unlockable character, Nega Scott. If you complete the game with him, he takes over the world. So depending on which character you win with, there's going to be a different ending.
Oh, people that I don't know, we're going to play that game eventually. Woohoo.
Subscribe to the Dig channel.
Subscribe to that god awful channel.
Yeah, it's so yeah, that's one of the cases with that. The comics.
Having 2 different mediums, you can't really do the same thing in like a movie where you can do in a book. So it's a whole bunch of all that.
Although if you listen in the ending of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, there is a point where one of the characters, I think his name is Keanu.
Yeah.
Or
Reeves?
No.
No.
Damn.
No, his name. I don't remember his name, but he mentions how he thinks the book is better than the movie. So that was the director's way of saying that. I already know. So shut up.
There's no point in pleasing people because they are never going to be pleased. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of not pleasing people, we're going to end this stupid podcast. Goodbye.
Well, depending on who you are, that might be pleasing.
All right,
True.
How's it going, my beautiful people of the internet? Thank you so much for sticking around to another episode of the CodeO-cast. We certainly have a ton of fun doing these, not just for ourselves, but for you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you like, what you didn't, what topics you would like us to cover in the future. And if you have any other questions for us, make sure to put them down there as well. Once again, if you like what you saw, let us know that you do. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to your aunt, your grandma, your grandpa, that one friend that doesn't know what podcast to watch, throw them this one their way. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on an episode of the CodeO-cast.